First, I'm gonna do the 3 colors so you can see what they look like on their own. And just a reminder, it is Quin Sienna, Phthalo Turquoise, and Quin Purple. To paint along today, just grab a purple, a turquoise, and an orange, and you'll be all set. One of the reasons I really love this triad is that the colors get along. They mix together just effortlessly and are quite beautiful. Beautiful colors. And now we'll go into the mixes. So when we start with the Quin Sienna, and we begin to add a little bit of turquoise, we can quickly bring it into browns. And the more turquoise you add, it can immediately go over into some greens. Keep that nice and wet there. And then when you add that purple, you'll see it start to shift into a gray color and just a little bit more purple. And there you go. Now you're into a nice black. The neat thing is that when you have 3 colors that get along and are smooth mixers, by just playing with your ratios, you'll arrive at black again and again. So let's start again, but let's do this time some Phthalo Turquoise. And I'll add some purple to it. What you're looking for is your best black, more purple. And now I'm going to start to add a little sienna. So I'm just putting the tip of my brush into it at a time. And now I have a nice warm black. See that? Let's start one with purple. This time I'm going to start with a little bit of the Quin Sienna and get this nice, rich, kind of iodine brown color. And now when I add the turquoise, it's going to shift. And again, just a whole nother black to experiment. A little bit more turquoise, and I can shift it into a nice kind of green black. So when I'm mixing a color, I'm creating my puddle, right? And then when I go to add a color, I like to use my angle shader brush, and I like to just use the corner only. So I'll use this like this to get my main color, but then when I'm adding, I'm just dropping the very tip of my brush into that mix. So I'm gonna make up 2 blacks right now. And I need enough to cover the volume of my painting. So I'm gonna mix up a bigger batch. And looking at this, I kind of liked the sienna, starting with sienna and moving over. So this one, I'm gonna start with that. And I need a lot of pigment because what happens when you water down a black? What'll you end up with? You'll end up with, that's right, a gray. And what happens when you have a black that has multiple pigments in it? Using just the corner, a little bit of turquoise at a time, shifting it to brown. Like here's my color recipe, right? Oops. A little bit more blue, a little bit more blue, taking it all the way over to green, just a little bit at a time. That's right. If you have multiple pigments and it gets watered out, the colors will tend to separate and pull from each other, which makes for excitement, doesn't it? So now I'm at the green, so now I know it's time to make purple, add purple. So I'm just going to add purple until I see it go to black. Now, why would I call this a vibrant? And you'll see when I pour it, it's going to behave different than your standard two blacks. So once I get that, I'm going to go ahead and put it on here. And then I'm going to pull it out with some clean water to see what happens when it hits water. How do the colors pull apart and behave? So I'll answer both questions. What happens when I water it down? And what happens when it hits a lot of water? How will it act? And then I think for my next color, I'm going to go with the turquoise to warm black. So I'm starting with the turquoise right here. All of our mixes are going to be slightly different. Just want to make sure you have enough pigment that it's going to show up. See how much lighter that is already just with the water? So I'm putting a lot of pigment in this one. So I went blues and then I went straight into the purple. And I got a nice deep blue. So I'm mixing until I see that deep blue. There we go, a little bit more pigment. And now I'm going to shift it to black by adding that. Ooh, you know what? This is a very bluey color, but it's so pretty. I feel like that's a nice warm black. Let me just see how this looks. Oh my gosh. Technically, it's like a blue black, but I'm going to take it because I think that that's going to make my dark background even that more beautiful to have some blue. So just going to water that one out too so I can see how it holds up. I really like those together. So now I'm just going to do really quick. I'm going to get this last circle wet. And I'm just going to put a touch of both colors to see how they'll interact with each other. Of course, when we pour, we do a lot of this. I'm just going to see if those colors mix and mingle. So even though we have this kind of dark, warm black and this blue black, together they're going to get along because they're all made from the same colors, right? All right. The only thing I want to do is, I'm going to leave it. I think this is going to be beautiful. I feel like this is drying a little bit lighter than I would want, especially when the subject is black. So I'm going to add a little bit more pigment. And I remember my recipe. I'm starting with the orange. So I'm just going to build that color with a little bit more pigment. So put my orange in, put my turquoise in. Until it shifts green, right? I'm looking for kind of a green. There it is. And then my purple until it moves to black. Go. Just a touch more sienna. Okay. So this one was Quinacridone Sienna to Phthalo Turquoise to Quinacridone Purple. This one was Phthalo Turquoise to Quinacridone Purple to Quinacridone Sienna. This one was Quinacridone Purple to Quinacridone Sienna to Phthalo Turquoise. Now it's the same three colors, but you can kind of see how the order in which you add your next pigment will kind of work on your finished black. So isn't that pretty? So I'm really quick, just gonna do one more test before I get into my painting. And that is a pour test. So I'm just gonna get this paper wet. You want enough water when you're doing a pour that when the paint gets there, it has somewhere to go. For instance, you can do this and make sure, is it moving around or not? And that can be a wonderful way to make sure you have enough water. And it can also give you a little idea how dominant a color is and how much it's going to move. And then you can get your pipette, and because it's multi-pigment, you always want to kind of give it a little bit of a stir. So I've got a nice green black and a nice blue black. And depending on how much water is on the paper, will determine how much not only it moves, but also it dilutes and kind of waters it down. So think about when you mix your pigments to tea, then you have a pastel version of the color. When you mix it to cream and when you mix it to heavy cream, just kind of those differences. If everybody that ever tried watercolor pouring did something like this, I think they would be so much more successful, because learning how much water to have on the paper to get things to move is the most important part. Also figuring out how thick to make your paint. So I noticed that the black now is heavier pigment, but see how it's just not moving as much as the blue. So one more thing is having a little spray bottle on hand. You can just put, while it's still wet, you can just put the tiniest bit of water in, and now it's going to move for you. What a beautiful, abstract too. If you just wanted some beautiful paintings, just kind of color blocks. One other thing is, once you have these colors, now these are so far removed, from this, right? This moody, beautiful came from this. Crazy, right? But knowing that it came from that, you could always add some of that into it. So I'm going to take a little bit of the sienna, really nice and thick, and I'm just going to put it just on there, kind of going on one side only, and I'm going to let that set up. Same thing with the turquoise, same thing with the purple. This is exciting. All right, I'm going to set these aside to dry and we'll get started on our painting. If you have any questions so far, go ahead and put them in the chat. So here is a bonus question for you pigment nerds. How many pigments are on this piece of paper right now? I think this is something fun to learn. Is for those of you that answered 3, you're right. We have Quinacridone Sienna, Phthalo Turquoise, and Quinacridone Purple. However, if we look those colors up on the color chart, your Quinacridone Sienna is actually a 3-color pigment. It's pigment orange 48, pigment red 209, and pigment yellow 150. So there's 3. And then your Quinacridone Purple is 1 pigment, pigment violet 55. So there's 4. And then your Phthalo Turquoise is 2 pigments. It's made up of pigment blue 15 and pigment green 36. So for those of you who guessed 6, you're right. This is so pretty. So why not a deep dark black like this? I'm going to have vibrance and beautiful moody bits, and then I can darken to darker levels just by remixing my blacks or adding more pigment or less. So we'll work on that. Okay, I'm going to set all this to the side, but just to recap these lovely colors create some beautiful blacks and grays.